A very good afternoon, Toastmasters and honored guests. I, Toastmaster Gurram Nitin, the Sergeant at Arms, welcomes you to the meeting number 674 of Speech Weavers Toastmaster Club, Bangalore. Toastmasters Club mission is to provide a very healthy and supportive and a positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop, communicate, leadership, and improve their leadership skills, resulting in great self confidence and personal growth. Toastmasters have helped people from diverse backgrounds to become more confident communicators and leaders. I request you all uphold the cardinal principles of every Toastmasters meeting, which are keeping your microphone muted at all the times except when you are invited to speak. Keep your video on at all times unless you're roaming or moving in and out of the room. As an encouragement to every role taker, speaker, please make sure you upload them generously virtually. Role takers and speakers will conscientiously refrain from expressing their views on sex, politics, and religion to ensure the sentiments of audience are not hurt. Today, let me first invite our presiding officer. No, it will be, I mean, the upholding officer, which is Bidu Das. He works in a startup. He enjoys outdoor sports a lot. He is a part of Speech Weavers for 2 years. He lives in Delhi and he is also a Triple Crown winner. So let us put our hands and welcome Bidu Das. Over to you, Bidu.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Thank you for joining Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club's meeting number 674. Without further ado, I declare the meeting open. Right, you might be surprised to see me give the presidential address, but let me stump you a bit further by asking, how many of you know Taika Waititi? You can unmute yourself and tell the answer.
Bidu, I think you'll have to repeat again.
How many of you know Taika Waititi? He's a person. He's definitely not the presiding officer of Speech Weavers. That's the hint I can give you. All right. So he is the director of the recently released Thor. He also directed Thor Ragnarok. But before that, he has also been a successful director and actor, best known for movies like Jojo Rabbit. And the reason I mentioned Taika Waititi is because I happened to watch one of his TED Talks where he defines success as the fact that we are all existing and showing up daily in our respective lives. Showing up is a very understated effort. At Toastmasters, we show up for a variety of reasons, like improving public speaking, developing leadership skills, or socializing. But all of those diverse reasons culminate into a single overarching goal, which is to make ourselves a little better every day. So I appreciate every one of you who took time from the busy schedules to join us on a Friday, and I'm sure you will have a great time in the next 1.5 hours. I am Bidu, VP Education of Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club, standing in for our President Toastmaster Shubhadeep, and I must say it has been an honor to take this meeting forward. Before I proceed, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Area B1 Director Toastmasters Prerna. We have Toastmasters Kavita, we have Toastmasters Debasis Pal, and we would also be shortly joined by Toastmasters Malia Raja, who have joined from different clubs, and we are glad to have them as role takers. Let us give them a big round of applause. Now, I personally am always up for a dose of laughter, and I'm sure many of you are also always, in search of some humor in your mundane lives. So in Speech Weavers, we have our joke master, Toastmasters Joseph Sir, to provide us with our daily dose of laughter. So here's inviting Toastmasters Joseph Sir as our joke masters. Over to you, Joseph Sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bidu. Good evening to all the Toastmasters and distinguished guests. James received a bill. I have taken this from the Reader Digest. A very good jokes. James received a bill for his recent surgery and was astonished to see a $900 bill changed for charge for the anesthesiologist. He called the office to demand its explanation. Is this some kind of mistake? He asked. When he got the doctor on the phone, no, not at all, the doctor said calmly. Well, said James, irritated, that's awfully costly for just knocking someone out. Not really, replied the doctor. I knocked you out for free. The charge is for bringing you back. An executive was interviewing applicants for the position of divisional manager. He asked each applicant, what's 2 plus 2? The first interview was an engineer. He pulled out a slide rule and showed the answer to the between 3.9992 to 4.001. He didn't get the job. The next candidate was a lawyer. She stated that in the case of Jenkins versus Brown, 2 plus 2 was proved to be 4. She also did not get the job. The last applicant was an accountant. When the businessman asked, what's 2 plus 2? The accountant got up from his chair, closed the door, and said in a low voice, how much do you want to be? Over to you, Toastmaster presiding officer. He got the job.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Joseph, for providing us our daily dose of laughter. Now, I have an interesting person to invite, and she would be taking us through one of our interesting segments again on the theme speed reading. I know many of us like to read, especially after we join Toastmasters, because reading essentially gives us ideas to speak about. And I know all of us are busy in our daily lives. But how do we actually put reading as a part of our daily habit when we are all busy? Toastmasters Deepa has personally felt this issue, and she had taken time to improve her speed reading habit. And today she is there to help us, develop our speed reading skills as well. Before I give her the stage, I would like to tell Toastmasters Deepa has been a part of Toastmasters for very long. She's a secretary of Speech Weavers Club. She is also a mentor to different clubs, and she has won numerous awards. So I'm sure what she is going to say is definitely going to benefit us. Over to you, Toastmasters of the day, Toastmasters Deepa.
Thank you, Bidu. I'm so sorry I'm not able to come on video for a little while at least. So let me just continue with my Toastmaster of the Day address. Now, many of you here might be intrigued or heard of the concept called speed reading. Have you been someone who reads books very quickly, or have you been someone who takes a lot of time? Take an example for a novel, maybe even a Chetan Bhagat novel. How long does it take for you to complete it? Maybe another novel. Mayur, how long does it take to complete one book for you? Or have you ever found out how many pages you complete in 1 hour?
I don't remember, because it's been a quite long time I read any book, to be honest. But suppose approximately 8 to 10 days, if a book is small, like around 300, 400 page, it would be 7 to 10 days. Or if like it's a book kind of like a subject, similar to a subject, like it will take around 15 days to me. 15-20 days.
Okay. Anybody else would like to tell me, have you ever captured how many pages you read in an hour? Have you ever?
I think I would like to do that. Oh
Yes,
yeah, I think I also see I see a lot of people raising their hands.
Okay, I'll go with everybody. Why don't you start with yourself?
All right then. So I'm known to take a long time to read a book. I think contrary to popular belief, I take a long time to read books. I read there are times where I read the same pages that I read the previous day. And a couple of minutes later, I realized that I'd actually read this the previous day. So I'll go back to the next, I'll go to the next chapter and I'll start reading it. So I usually take a good load of time. In case if it's a 300-page book, then I think I'd probably read around 15 to 20 a day, but that takes around 2-3 hours. I'm not sure. It's a long time, I'm sure.
Great. What about Dhwani? You raised your hand.
Thank you so much. So I am a very slow reader. It takes me 6 months to complete one book. So, and if I take it as an hour, then I can max, I have time, I have the span or attention to read only 10 pages, not more than that.
Okay. Somebody else was going for it. Debashis, was it you? Yeah, please go ahead.
I read about 30 to 32 lines per minute.
Okay. Now, I'm not good at maths, so looks like a good number. Anyway, so this is an old concept of speed reading. It has been running for decades together. And I picked up this book called How to Read Better and Faster by Norman Lewis. Norman Lewis is a very popular author. You know, I have read his Word Power Made Easy. It's like a Bible for me. I've taken in all the words, etymology. So I trust the author and I went through it. So I'm going to tell you what he lays out as the basics for getting speed reading into practice. Now, before anything else, let's start the meeting. In between, I will bring out all the exercises and the secrets out. So let's keep the suspense in and let's keep the secrets still on. And let's continue the meeting. And for any guests with us, I don't think we have any guests who are not familiar with Toastmasters. So I'll leave out the Toastmaster part. So let's start off with our meeting, which starts with the prepared speech segment. And today I would like to invite on stage our general evaluator to begin the meeting. So we have with us somebody from Mount Carmel College. And my mother is an alumni of Mount Carmel College, and she's a student of arts, and it is a very popular college in Bangalore. For those who are not familiar, Deepa Padukone and several Miss Indias have come from this college. So I'd like to invite our general evaluator today, Malia Raja, to please come on stage and introduce to us what a general evaluator does, and also introduce a tag team for us. Over to Toastmaster Malia. Please encourage her with a big round of applause.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa, for your warm welcome and for your introduction. I'm Malia, and I will be your general evaluator for today. And my role as the general evaluator will be to evaluate all the speakers and role players throughout the meeting, give constructive feedback for our mutual benefit. So in order to help me with this role of general evaluator, I have the tag team with me, which consists of timer, our counter, grammarian, and listener. To start off with, we have our timer, who is Toastmaster Dhwani. Over to you to introduce your role.
Thank you so much, general evaluator. As we all know that time and tide waits for none. Hence, I am here today to time everybody and make sure the meeting does not extend more, right? So with that, let me quickly tell you that how am I going to do that? So there are two speakers today, and for them, the first speaker, the time limit is 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, I'll show the green card, and let me just show you. Yes, I'll show the green card like this, changing my virtual background. At 5 minutes, I'll show the yellow card, and at 6 minutes, I'll show the red card. Plus, you'll get 30 seconds grace period. For the next speaker also, likewise, for 5 minutes, I'll show the green card, 6 minutes yellow, and 7 minutes red card. For the evaluator, at 2 minutes, I'll show the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll show the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I'll show the red card. For table topic section today, at 1 minute, I'll show the green card. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll show the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I'll show the red card. With that, I hope everybody is on time and everybody follows the guidelines. And if you're not, it's totally fine. We're here to learn together. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dhwani. Next, we have Toastmaster Prerna, who is the counter. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. As an R counter today, I'll be making note of the words and the sounds that are used as crutch or pause fillers by the speakers, such as so, that, long pause, short pause. I'll submit my reports towards the end of the meeting. All the best to everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prerna. Our third member is the grammarian, who is Toastmaster Adarsh.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. I'll be your grammarian for today. And my job as a grammarian is to point out certain areas where you excel, because language is an ocean, if I'm not wrong. And all of us are bound to make good usages. And at the same time, we are bound to make some bad usages. Now, making a bad usage isn't essentially a crime, but rather it is one of those areas where you go back. It's one of those occasions where you just go back to the drawing board and look for better methods to improve your language. And that's exactly what I'm going to do today. And aside from that, I'm also going to be introducing all of you to the word of the day. And the word of the day that I've gone for is called perusing. Perusing is nothing but a word where the typical meaning from the dictionary goes reading typically in a thorough or careful way, or examining something very carefully. So it is immersing yourself. Now take the example of a book. Let's say you're reading a book right now. And there are different kinds of readers in this world. There are readers that read very quickly, and there are those that read a book thoroughly. And those are readers that peruse a book. And that's exactly how the word is used. Here are some usages for the word perusing. I spent countless hours perusing books in school. I perused a painting by Leonardo da Vinci for hours. So these are two usages. All of you are free to go ahead and use the word of the day. I'll also put it up in the chat box. And those that use the word of the day the most will be the language king for today's meeting. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Adarsh. And we also have a listener. The role of the listener will be played by Toastmaster Prerna. Over to you.
I will also be playing the role of a listener today. I feel the most important skill in communication is of listening. So today I'll be noting down some interesting information which I've actually started noting down from the beginning of the meeting, and I'll ask question towards the end of the session. This is just to observe how much each and everyone were listening in the meeting. So all the best, everyone. Again, thank you so much. Back to the G.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Prerna, and the other two who belong to the Taggle team. They will be back along with me in the last session of the meeting when called upon by the TMOD. Thank you, and over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Malia, for that lovely introduction to the General Evaluator role. And now let's move ahead with our prepared speech segment. But hey, am I missing something?
Deepa, just sorry to pause you there. If you notice, the remaining time is 8 minutes. So can we switch to a different link? Do we have another link available? Else we might get disrupted during a speech.
You guys want a link? I can send it to you. Right
yes, or if you have another link, because it's only 8 minutes that are remaining.
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
I think meanwhile, all of you are free to go ahead and read the word of the day in the chat.
Yeah, regret the inconvenience. We'll have to rejoin. The link will be provided in our group in a little while.
I'll provide it here, Deepa. Just hang on. Let me start the meeting. I'll provide the link here itself so that it pops off. You can straight away jump from this to that. Give me less than a minute.